all eyes will be on the auto sector, especially the two-wheeler auto sector, isn't it? Given the fact that we are hearing all the murmurs of Ola Electric finally going ahead and filing the DRHP, we yet to get a certain with the timing, but it's a new kid on the block.
I don't believe, Cheryl, that we have to wait much, because just next week the reports are saying that Ola will be going ahead to file DRHP with SEBI, and then maybe at the start of January 2024 we will see the IPO flowing in for Ola Electric. But the case in point being, because for today if we see, then definitely yes, the auto sector is quite muted, but given the kind of a run-up that we have seen, there feels like that there is a case for a re-rating in all these two-wheeler counters. Definitely there is a push from the demand side. Post the festive, the demand has been catching up, but for Ola Electric specifically, the kind of valuations that they are looking to raise money at is something that is giving some push to other listed two-wheeler counters as well. Let's first tell you that what Ola Electric could be offering then the report suggests that they are looking to raise around 5,800 crores via this particular IPO at a valuation of $7 to $8 billion, which in Indian rupee is 57,400 to 65,600 crores. Do remember, Ola Electric in the whole two-wheeler EV space has a market share of 33%, and at that market share, they are looking at a valuation of 57,400 crores. Now in the listed space, which are its peers? TVS Motors, Bajaj Auto and Hero MotoCorp. Given their market share, let's try and find out that what could be their expected valuation of their EV division given their market share with respect to the valuation that Ola is demanding. Then TVS Motors is the leader there, just after Ola, which holds around 21% market share. Then at this particular market share, their EV division could have a market cap of around 36,527 crores, which with respect and as a percentage of TVS Motors' whole market share, around 38%. Similar calculation can be done for Bajaj Auto and Hero MotoCorp on your screens, but Eicher Motors, as we know, that in 2025 we will see its first electric motorcycle, so that is out of the list. But given the kind of a valuation that Ola is looking out for with a 33% market share, then analysts believe that there could be some valuation gap with respect to all these other two-wheeler majors as well. But we need to take in point that all these two-wheelers in the listed space, they are not profitable as of now, but market always look out for the future prospects of growth, and companies have been confident. Like for, if we discuss TVS Motors, then iQube electric scooter has been a roaring success. For the past 6 to 7, 8 months, their electric two-wheeler market share has been over 20%, and they've increased their capacity as well. But lastly, on the valuation metrics, if we say, then taking note of their EV as well as ICE portfolio, then TVS Motors definitely priced expensively given the run-up. It's almost around 35 times, while for Bajaj Auto and Hero MotoCorp, they still look attractive on those front.
All right, that's an exhaustive lowdown on what does Ola Electric DRHP mean, especially for the two-wheeler companies that are listed and are already actually catering to the EV space. But let's hear out a view coming in from ET Now and ET Now Swadesh's managing editor Nikunj Zarmia, what he feels of this entire prospect of Ola Electric coming in or filing his DRHP and also hitting the bourses.
Let's look at the setting in the auto space. You got TVS, which genuinely has really taken a giant leap forward in the EV space. You got Bajaj Auto, where the EV business has started, and it could be at least 3-4 years before it will have a meaningful impact personally on the balance sheet of Bajaj. And Hero MotoCorp, I guess, is just not there. Now, I mean, if the entire two-wheeler sector was going through the stress, you would have not seen this kind of a divergence in terms of valuation. So what are markets telling you? Go for EV. What are markets telling you? Companies which in a sense have got a future EV ready portfolio, that's the future you really want to bet on. And interestingly, Anisha, this all is happening when the FLAME 2 subsidy has been taken out. So now auto companies in a sense have to really fend themselves independently. What had happened because of the FLAME 2 subsidy, there were a lot of small players which had suddenly come into the two-wheeler space. Now all those experimental small companies in a sense are feeling the heat. So the way the EV space is moving, that you've got TVS from the listed space, which has got market leader. Ola has been the disruptor there, and if Ola goes public, we've always seen that the rub-off effect which already it could have. So if you remember on Monday, I think we discussed Ola is going public. And today if you look at the TVS stock price in last 5 days itself, the stock has already seen a rub-off effect of that. Unfortunately, Hero MotoCorp has really gone behind the race. So Ola filing for DRHP, this one is going to gain. Ola filing for DRHP, maybe three-wheeler companies like Atul Auto or companies which have a EV presence. So it's all about EV. 2023 was all about Tata Motors. 2022 was all about Mahindra and Mahindra EV, and now I think it's going to be Ola and the rub-off effect it will have on the entire EV space per se.
Okay, so that's the editor's take on Ola Electric upcoming IPO and its likely rub-off effect on the other two-wheeler two-wheeler counters. But since we are talking about the auto space and two-wheelers is what we have discussed, but as of now, let's shift focus to the passenger vehicle segment, because analysts believe that the kind of demand momentum is actually getting tepid post the festive season, and SUVs market share is likely to top out for Maruti Suzuki. But we also got Shashank Srivastava on our channel today, so let's hear out from him. What's the outlook for the company going ahead?
On the stock side, I think the beginning of December stock was a little higher than what normally is for the December beginning. But remember, in December, industry tries to keep the stock levels down because of the model year change. Therefore, it's very crucial in December to have very large retails, and that's what all the OEMs are trying to do. So, and you can also see the wholesale numbers this month will be lower in the industry. Our market share currently around the 22.3% in the SUV sector. Hopefully, we will add a little bit more. Of course, the target with this 50% of the segments of the industry being the SUV segment, if you do a back of the envelope calculation with a 65% share in the non-SUV, we need to get to about 35% in the SUV sector to get to 50% overall. So still we have a lot of ground to cover. We are happy currently with the 20 to 23%, but obviously we have to aim up to about 35% in the medium term in order to achieve the objective of 50% share.
All right, so that's the word coming in from Maruti Suzuki management when it comes to their market share when it talks about the SUV space. But let's bring on board our guest for today. We have Vivek Karwa joining us on the fundamental side, while on the technical front we have Kunal Bothra. And good morning to both of you gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. And Vivek, I hope the situation has settled in Chennai this after the floods that it had faced on back of that cyclone. I hope everything is normalized there right now.
Cheryl, and good morning to all the panelists. See, the situation is still settling, and there is a yellow alert today for tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So,
fingers crossed
I don't know what is going to happen.
Yeah, fingers crossed it doesn't have that much of damage. But let's talk about Ola Electric, the fact that it is going to file a DRHP very soon, IPO likely even sooner. Do you think that will actually dent the two-wheeler players that are already listed? A sign of worry for them, or do you think it is good because it will re-rate the entire segment?
As far as Ola's valuation is concerned, I think the frenzy is because of frenzy in the IPO market overall. Because whichever IPO is coming, people are just grabbing them, and there is overvaluation kind of situation in IPO side, and which even the SEBI is very, very clear about it, that the price discovery mechanism has to be totally changed. So that is one thing. And the other thing, because of this valuation, after listing, the valuations can derate on Ola's side, and maybe get some additional valuation on the listed space. So that would bridge the gap. Now, what I find is, of course, Hero MotoCorp, everybody is ruling. They have a big stake in Ather EV, and this Ather, I think, has the best reputation today's date in the market. To whomever I speak, they are really valuing the company as the best EV two-wheelers. And I also think that over a long period, after 5 years, maybe as Nikunj was saying, that the numbers on the balance sheets will take 3 to 4 years to reflect. But I think after 5 years, 90% sales would be only of EV. So there are a lot of things, a lot of actions which will happen. But due to this listing, I don't think there'll be a re-rating as such. Maybe there should be de-rating of Ola as time progresses. But if you look at 5 years, I think all the companies are going to do well, and Hero Moto can be a dark horse because of Ether.
Among the two-wheeler space, Vivek believes that Hero MotoCorp could be the dark horse, but don't believe that there is a case in point for re-rating for these two-wheeler counters. Totally take your point, Vivek. But coming on the chart front, Kunal, all these two-wheeler counters are seeing no stopping, especially from the likes of TVS Motors. Other than that, even Bajaj Auto hitting an all-time high and Hero MotoCorp showing also good moves. Any stock that is still standing out and you are still bullish on?
So I'll still stick to the performing names. So Hero MotoCorp is something which looks attractive even at current levels. Eicher Motors is something which I think about that 4,000 levels has given a strong breakout, and the stock apparently has been going through that classic patch of rally as well as a mild consolidation and a correction. So I think that's another stock to look out for. TVS Motors has been on a phenomenal uptrend right throughout the last couple of years, in fact much more than that. So it seems like this uptrend would continue for the stock even from current levels. But in terms of a fresh breakout, I think Hero MotoCorp as well as Eicher Motors are something which look attractive.
All right, so those are the takes coming in from both of our experts when it comes to the two-wheeler space.